I actually have two part-time jobs to support my dance life. One of them is as a tour guide at the Hyde Park Barracks Museum, and the other is as a student advisor at the University of Technology. I tend to spend half my life living in Sydney in the 1800s and the other performing Indian dance in Homebush. So it's a rather strange combination, but they work brilliantly. They teach me more about different people's experience, particularly women's experience, because I'm drawn quite strongly to convict women's experiences. And then a lot of the dance that we do at the Lingalayam Dance Company is centred on women, because we're basically a female dance company and a lot of the work we present focus on women. I have always loved dancing. I can't remember not loving it. It's innate. I think I was born with it. For a long time, I guess, I didn't use words very well, and maybe I still don't. I was even scared at times and anxious to pick up phones. With movement, you don't need to worry about the words so much. You can express everything that's being said through movement, and that's one of the great joys of dancing, because you're not limited by words. I've done a lot of crazy things for dance. One of them would be having worked on a dance project for a few months, and 2 days outside of the actual performance, having minor surgery and being stitched up, and then deciding to still go ahead with the performance even though there was a chance I could burst the stitches on stage. So that gave the performance a whole other aspect, even though the doctor was in the audience. So there was an interesting triangle between the dance teacher in the wings, me on stage, and the doctor in the audience. We're all three of us probably thinking, is she going to make it? If I don't dance, for me, I die. I know that sounds quite dramatic, but I get so miserable and depressed if I don't dance. Gee, when I retire, I'm going to have to start ballroom dancing.
Being in nature and being somewhere that was there so long before I was, something that's beyond us and beyond humans, and I think that's what really excites me, just to be able to appreciate that, something that I guess is God-given, that's something that, you know, beyond what we're capable of even fully understanding, but just the beauty of it. There's something that's just in the air when you're in those types of environments. It just gets to the core of me. I think I would have liked to do something like ecology or something hands-on with animals, but what was really more important was to save animals, and so the law is really the best way to do that, and write policies that help to protect them. So I did my undergrad in environmental management and law, and decided to continue further studies, and so I'm doing my master's in international environmental law. I think we have a very small-minded approach to a lot of things in this country, and coming from a personal perspective, Australia's policy on a lot of environmental issues is really, really backwards, and it's really sad because if you compare to a country like New Zealand, for example, they're so proactive and far more ethically aware of how they want to sort of frame themselves and how they want to sculpt themselves as a nation, whereas we in Australia are just so focused on the dollar. My family life, well, I still live at home, so there's a lot to say. We live in a very small house, and it's comfortable, but because of that, our dynamics are just constantly present. So I guess for us, we've got four intense personalities at home, including a dog as well, so that's 5. We're very emotional and very intense type of people, so I think the dynamics at home, most people find interesting observing from the outside. Well, my love life is interesting, I guess. For me, it's been I would say, a bit of a struggle. In our sort of society and culture, it's really important to just know from the start how serious and whether this is it. And in all realisticness and practicality, that's not possible. To know that someone's going to be the one you spend the rest of your life with. It sort of cuts short the possibilities of just, you know, really relaxing into a relationship and getting to know someone freely and easily in, you know, an open environment. When I look in the mirror, I see a Sri Lankan. I see, when I live my life on a daily basis, I feel Sri Lankan. But in saying that, there's a sense of patronage to Australia. This is such a beautiful country, and you know, when I go overseas and travel, there's just something I always compare back to home that's just so unique and beautiful. There's just literally something in the air, something in the land, just the way the trees are, everything that to me feels really homely, and I connect with, as soon as you see eucalyptus tree somewhere else, is automatically get a sense of nostalgia or a sense of, you know, homesickness. And dance defines me. One of the things, if I was to think of who I am as a person, I would think of myself as a dancer. And even more so is that I get treated like a princess every time there's a show about to come on or something like that. On the day of the show, I get pampered, and, you know, it's great. I love it.
Thank you.